Howdy, howdy, howdy. Hello, welcome, Hoopers. This is Shay Rippinger here of Hip the Hoopla. And the Hoopla of y'all show is health, humor, and hooping. So we cover these three things, and this is part two of a three-part series. It's a little, just a little mini series. Stories, People, and Networking is the series. So because they intertwine together, the shows are related. And also one of the through pieces through all of these is I'm working on showing you roles, the hoop roles, and showing how each of these themes goes with those roles. So, in a chair, that's a fun one to do. All right, in my office. I don't know that I do that much, but anyway, um, that's going to be one of those things we're going to talk about. So sit down, strap in. If you're watching live, thank you so much for being here. I'm trying some new technology with a new little light tonight, so we're trying that out, and let's see how it goes. It's life's an adventure here. So, people is the theme of this show. So again. I covered stories in the first one, why stories are important, our personal stories, why we should tell them, and the benefits of doing that. And this is a little bit of people. And all of the reason why I'm doing this three-part series is because these are all intertwined and related. So people are, the common thread here of, like the glue that holds all of these together. So you don't have a story without other people. And, well, sometimes you do, but generally speaking, people are in your stories. And people make up a lot of the thing. Well, people make up networking too. So anyway, people are that's the thing we're chatting about right now. So I had an example of something that happened to me just yesterday, and it was really interesting because right before then I was in a really good mood. Usually I'm in a pretty good mood. That's even when things are like blah. I try and be positive about things as much as possible. I am human too, so I don't always, am not, Miss Rosy Glasses all the time. But anyway, I went to the gas station to get some gas. Pretty simple maneuver, right? Just go pump some gas into my tank. But I have like a King Soopers, it's a rewards card, and you go grocery shopping, and then when you purchase your groceries, those add up to rewards points, and then you do the surveys, you get more rewards points, and then that adds up to a discount. So when you go if you go buy gas at certain gas stations, it's not available all over the place. You get the discount. So I've I go there to this little local station that's a little bit from the house, and this has happened several times. This is probably like the third or fourth time that this has happened. My card does not work. It They can't punch it. I go in and I just want to fill up my tank. Well, how much? I'm like, I don't know till it's full. I don't know how much that is. Like I'm not. I can't read the mind of my gas tank of how much it goes in there. But anyway, so my rewards card won't go in there to begin with, so I don't even get the discount. Not getting the discount off, and then I'm going in there, and I have to do this manually. I have to leave my credit card in there, my driver's license there, and my rewards card in there, so that I don't run off with gas. Yeah, I understand that. Okay, great. So anyway, I go pump the gas. I go bring my credit card in there. She runs the fuel card first, and I said, it says zero on the screen, and she goes, no, it'll add in the discount afterwards. She rings up the number, and then she rings in my credit card. She goes, okay, put your credit card in, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, the number has not changed. Like I still owe 42.25 for filling my gas tank, and there's no discount in there. So, and she's like, well, I can't do anything about it. And it's already rung in through my credit card. So I have to sign the thing. And I'm like, no, but there's a discount. And I'm getting so frustrated. I'm getting so worked up because it would be one thing if this was the first time that this has happened, but this has happened many times to me with trying to use a stupid fuel card. It's not even a fuel card, but the rewards card. It's like, it's called a rewards card, not, put you through hell card. Like, it's like, we reward you for shopping with us. It's like, you guys are making me so mad. I want to come down there and slap somebody because this isn't working, or get a new card or do whatever. Anyway, my point of this, the point of this show is people. So this gal that was working there, she had a headscarf on, and she just had the loveliest um, countenance about her. Pardon me. The entire time that I was having a little conniption fit. And I mean, I was get. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for joining. So anyway, she was just basically a ball of sunshine. She was. I would say that when I thought about it later, when I thought about it this morning in my meditation, because she kind of came up in my thoughts this morning of just like how like angels get put in front of you, and sometimes they're in human form. I think she was one of those because I was getting mad over something that wasn't really a big deal. When I came home, I didn't even want to tell my husband the story because I didn't want to go there again with my emotions. Didn't want to tell that story. So I already covered stories in the first part of this little trio part segment of the Hoopla of Y'all show. So we all live sunshine. Yeah, Jennifer just commented. We all live sunshine. We're trying. So anyway, um, yeah, so anyway, this gal was just, she was extremely nice to me throughout the process. At any point, she could have just turned into a regular human being and said, "You are being a biatch," and been not nice to me because I definitely. I don't know that I deserved that, but I was so mad. I was on the verge of crying, and I actually did go out to my car and I cried because I was so mad about this. When I told my husband about the story later, he's like, "So let's calculate this out. It was like 42.25." He goes, "So you would have saved 10 cents a gallon. So that's about $1.50 that you would have saved." And I'm like, "Yeah, when you put it that way, I know this wasn't like it wasn't about the." Like the actual gas savings. It was about my frustration over time having used this card and keep having problems with it. But it was true. He put it in perspective for me. So he was another angel on my path of just like, oh, how people can just brighten your day. And it's so wonderful. Like even talking to Jen yesterday, when she got home from her long day at work at doing, being a cardiac nurse, and although she had a funny story with her, how there was an interesting case that came in, and she was like, "I want to go see it," like, "Well, I want to be there," and so, for most of us, we wouldn't want to be partaking in this kind of stuff, but in her line of work, this is like exciting, cool stuff, and so watching people be stupid and do stupid stuff to their bodies because of, like, I don't know. Anyway, but her, just even talking with her yesterday was so nice. So, like, when I left her house, I had spent time taking care of her dog a little bit, and we'd hung out and, just chatted and, updated each other and stuff like that of what's going on in life. And so I left there and I was just like in a cheery mood and stuff like that. And then, so, one person nice, next person at the gal at the gas station was nice. My husband, when I got home, he had just gone out and gotten some groceries. He said, "I got some stuff for you," because he was bringing in groceries, and I was like, and I'm still like in this state. But on the way home from the gas station, because I was like, I I need to like get myself out of this thing. So I need to be my own person for this and be responsible for my own mood, because I let this affect me so drastically. And I just said, okay, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful that I could put gas in my tank. I'm grateful that I have a tank to put gas in. I'm grateful that I can have the ability to pay for it. I'm grateful that I love having a full tank of gas. It makes me feel so good, and I don't always have a full tank of gas. So, it's like, that's really cool to have a full tank of gas. I'm so grateful for this gal who was very nice. She got this card off the shelf, and she goes, "Listen, have you seen this? It's a Shell card, and it's when you shop at Shell, and I'm like, I don't want a credit card. I don't want to, if they pull my credit, I don't want to, I don't want a credit card. She goes, "No, it's not a credit card. It's just a rewards card. So you don't have to, if you shop at Shell, then you get 5 cents off a gallon just automatically." And I was like, so I took it and I thought, wasn't that a nice thing for her to do? So yet another nice, thankful thing to be thankful for, and I come home and I'm still even more grateful. My husband brought me nice food and he thought about me. That was nice. Today's our, let's hear, because today's the 22nd. So and we picked out the 22nd. Somebody told me this. It was a really cool thing. When you put twos together, it becomes a heart. Well, the little part of the two like that is like, I guess it's like the little surface that the heart is on. But the twos facing together are like a heart, which is really cool. Anyway, today is our 6 months and 1 year officially married anniversary. We've been together longer than that, but anyway, happy anniversary, baby. So, um, the people in our lives matter, and then I just wanted to bring up the gal at the gas station because she was just like a passing person in my life of just, like I might not remember this 6 months from now. But, and I probably will because she was just so quite lovely. It was just a really neat thing. She might not ever remember me, or if she does remember me, she probably won't, think of me as like this person if she wants to remember. But, I wanted to go in there and I was like, I wonder when her next shift is. I have no idea. I don't know what her name is or anything like that, but she was just so nice and I wanted to thank her. So one of I wanted to do like a little laughter yoga exercise. So as you know, if you've tuned in any of these shows before, and if you don't know, I'm a certified laughter yoga leader. So laughter yoga is a cool thing where you get breath in and you try and oxygenate the cells. There's a lot of ways to do this. There's a gazillion laughter yoga exercises out there. I make up a whole bunch all the time, so I add to the mix too. I have some of my favorites that I've made up, and then I have other ones that other people have come up with, and I like to pass those along. In the first one, we did the ho ho ha ha in the first of this series one, and then for this one I wanted to do a I don't know quite what to call this, but a happy energy meditation. And so what I want you to do is to think of somebody, could be a person that you know really well or a person you don't know, but you've come into contact with. And I just want you to breathe in this love and light and energy, and I want you to exhale it out and breathe that and just send that energy to that person. You can do this with your eyes open or with your eyes closed. But for instance, I might do this with this gal and just know that I am so thankful and grateful for her presence and that moment in my life and her life where she made a difference in mine and she tried to do the best of a situation to make life better. So I breathe in this love, this light, this energy, and then I exhale and I push this energy out, and I focus on her in particular. You focus on whoever you want. You can focus on a person or a group of people, but try just starting out with focusing on a person and sending your energy out to this one person. And you can do this in a prayer format if you want. You can do this as a laughter yoga exercise or as an energetic positive energy. So it could be if somebody out there that needs some happiness, some health, some healing. I want you to focus on them, bring the positive energy into you, and then expand that out and share that wonderfulness and that thankfulness, that gratitude, the positive healing to that other person, and really focus and direct that to them, and just send that energy their way. So just take a couple of more breaths in, breathe that energy in, exhale it out, and share that energy with them. One more last time. Inhale it in, bring that energy in, and focus it and share it with that person energetically and virtually. It doesn't even have to be with the person that's sitting right next to you. It could be, far away. It could, they could be wherever. It could be an angel spirit. It could be, whoever you want to share this with. So anyway, at the end of laughter yoga exercises, I like to try and remember this. I forgot it on the last one. Being human again. So I'm being one of those peoples. What we do is we take our hands together. We do this twice. We take them together and we clap. Very good, yay. Very good, yay. And that's a shout out to Dr. Kataria and his wife who started laughter yoga. And it has affected and helped millions and millions of people all over the world. So I share that with you, and hopefully you will, possibly try that and share it with somebody else. Definitely share this video with somebody else, and see how that goes, and because this ripples out in the world. So I'm here to try and send out a positive effect to people. I'm not always going through roses and lollipops here. And I let you know that sometimes, like it's not all, hey, this stuff, not all roses and lollipops. I can laugh and I can have humor about it now, like, I feel like, I've been in my own battle zone and stuff like that. But, again, that's in previous videos, part of my story. Went over that before. But yeah, and I like to treat things with humor whenever possible as well. So all right. So I want to do, so I'm going to tie this back into hooping. Like, how do you tie in people as a theme with hooping? Here's how. I'm going to tell you. All right. So I equate this to people who help you get things. And I don't mean just get things like acquire things like money or whatever. That could be a boss. Yeah, that's like easy, low hanging fruit, whatever. But I'm talking about people who help you get things, like help you understand things. And there have been some really cool people in my life. Not some. There's been thousands of people who have affected my life positively. And even if they've affected, what might seem like a negative situation, I've still learned from it. So I still even thank and bless those situations when I can. There's a couple of them out there that I still need to work on, that forgiveness. Somebody was just talking to me about forgiveness and how important that was. And I said, I liked when you talked about love better, because that everything is all about love. She's like, everything is all about forgiveness. And I'm like, I like the love version better, because I don't know, that was more palatable to me. But anyway, people who help you get things. Like, this is a friend of mine that, she tells me some stuff too. And, some of those are like, oh, that's big, that's deep, that's good stuff. So I wanted to show you something. I've been equating, so I'm using in this 3-part series, I'm using roles as an example of tying in the theme. So people who help you get things. This is one example of people, and I'm talking about a person. So this is a tip from Mike Hayataka. So this isn't my own. I didn't think of this myself, but it totally makes sense. So I like to give credit where credit is due. If I've learned something from somebody else, from another person or people, I like to tell that. And in the 3rd part of the series, I'm going to give you some more extra tips from some other really amazing, badass super people on how to get these roles. So anyway, Mike Hayataka, I'm just going to give you this one tip on what he does to help get the roles. And I've done a couple of workshops with Mike Hayataka. You can find him online. He's a really awesome person, and he's an excellent teacher. So, and he prides himself in his ability to teach. I do too, because I love breaking things down, and I love getting things down into bite-sized pieces that make things easy for people, and then they have that aha moment, and they get the look in their eyes like, ah, and I can't fake that. I can't make somebody have those googly eyes, but it's really fun when I have a part, when I'm their people, when I'm their person that helps them get something. That really makes me happy. So anyway, Mike Hayataka's tip was to, when you're doing the roll, that you're going to look at the hoop the entire time through the roll. So a lot of people, you see them doing a roll and they're just doing this. So basically that's kind of like a blind move, right? Because you can sort of see it out your peripheral vision. This is assuming you have peripheral vision. That's a hard word to say. And yeah, and I'm totally sober. So, there's some things that are just a mouthful. Anyway, so what you're going to do is you're going to take this and, you can get this started from a spin. I'm not going to go over that portion of the roll portion, but just this little tip and trick of watching and following with your eyes the roll all the way across. You're going to keep your focus on the hoop. So I had a motorcycle teacher. This is an extra little story. It was really important about where you looked. So when you're riding a motorcycle, picture yourself, and I'm going to visually do this. So he said, wherever you turn your head, whatever you focus on, you're going to go to. So, and this is a metaphor for life. Hooping is a metaphor for life. I'm always telling you guys this. And motorcycle, there's a lot of things that you're into that you might be an existing hobby already. And you do it and you don't know why you do it. But if you I don't care if it's needlepoint and you get your creative yayas out that way, but you're focused and you're doing stuff and you're learning and you're doing right stitches or whatever, whatever you're doing, it matters to the other things that you do in life. You can take these lessons, pardon me, and do that. So anyway, with a motorcycle, when you look, you actually move your body when you look. So what happens is you move your head, and then your neck goes with it and your shoulders go with it. So this is what happens when you're riding a motorcycle. So if you want to turn right, you want to look to the right, and you will start turning to the right. If you want to turn left, you want to start looking to the left, and you will be turning to the left when you're doing that, because the motorcycle, you're on two wheels, so you're balanced and all that kind of good stuff. You're balanced in motion. So the reason why that's important, where you focus, is because, I always tell people this, of like, tell the universe what you want rather than what you don't want, because the universe can't take a joke. Literally, so there's this other story of this, it's like off my motivational tapes from like long, long ago or whatever, about the mom who's teaching her teenage son how to drive. And she's like, don't hit the curb, don't hit the curb, don't hit the curb, don't hit the curb. And then he's driving. He keeps, don't hit the curb. And he hits the curb. And then she's like, what were you thinking? Because she's like mad at him because he like, beats the car on the curb. And he's like, she's like, what were you thinking? He's like, the curb. I couldn't think of anything else but the curb, because that's what you're focused on. That's the point of that story. So, what your people tell you, this can have a difference in what you're doing. So whether it be motorcycle, where you're focused, where you're looking at, or whether it be hooping, of where you're looking and trying to get your hoop to go, looking at it will help. So it doesn't get 100% all time, but there's a lot of other things to go with this. But that tip from Mike Hayataka, I really love that tip of watching the hoop. And when I remember to do it, I think of him, and also I do better rolls because of that, because of what he taught us to do in his workshops. So shout out to Mike Hayataka, because he's really wonderful. So go look him up on YouTube. Anyway, I wanted to keep this kind of short because it's a little series of stuff. So anyway, our next topic that we're covering is networking, why that's important too. So we're going to tie in health, humor, and hooping once again. So thank you so much for being here. This is a shorter show. My first one was a little longer. Anyway, I forgot that I had a recommendation too, a little health recommendation. There's a little puppy cameo with Layla. Hi, Layla. Yes, little Sparky, little spark plug. She's got a little tail wagging. Okay, so my recommendation is Source of Life. So I have recommendations. You can take them or leave them. It's just, I'm not sponsored. I do not get money for this. I would love to be sponsored by these guys. There's some things that I would love to go, look at this product. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It works. It really does, though. We used to have a health food store back in the day. Actually right around 9/11, because that's like when we ended our store, right around that time too. Well, we had a little bit after that, but that, affected a lot of businesses. But anyway, Source of Life is this really cool thing. This happens to be a shake formula, but it's green plant protein. I'll read you what it says here. Shake whole life energy enhancer. Those are big words, right? With vegetable protein, vitamins, minerals, whole foods, herbs, enzymes, and much more. And it says guaranteed burst of energy. That's my part there that I really like. It's got a lot of B vitamins in there. If I'm not mistaken, I think it might have some ginseng in there and some other stuff. I don't have my glasses on right now to read the teeny tiny print, but I've used this for a long time. It also comes in a pill, like a vitamin format. And much like these guys here, so you can get them in this. I started getting these alive pills because sometimes this can be a little on the pricey side at the health food store. But yeah, it can be. But your body is pretty worth it, in my opinion. So treat it right, feed it good stuff. But sometimes when you don't have time to get in all of your nutrients, and it's not even about time, but sometimes ease is part of it. So like in a shake format, you can throw this in with some juice, some yogurt, or some whatever you want to, I guess almond milk or soy milk or something like that, whatever you like. I prefer to do dairy alternatives, so that's my thing. But yeah, you can do that. You can probably even just mix this with water. You can mix it with juice as well. That adds a lot more sugar content, but yeah, just don't add it with soda, okay? So unless it's Zevia. Zevia is pretty good too because it's sweetened with stevia, so it's basically like a soda, but not with the all the guilt that comes with. And when I say guilt, you should have guilt drinking soda. No, I'm just joking. But it's like 200 empty calories if you're drinking a regular, especially high fructose corn syrup soda. Those are the worst. But if with all the chemicals in there and stuff like that. Oh my goodness, I gotta tell you the story real quick. There was a guy behind us in line at the grocery store the other day, and they happened to have we were in there on a particular day because they had these coupons, and we just happened to be shopping that day. But I'm like, I happen to know of these coupons that were only for that day, so so we go in there and we use our rewards card and stuff like that. And turns out it was a free candy bar. I'm like, well, my husband likes this stuff, and I'll have a bite, but I'm not into that stuff as much anymore. But anyway, so there was a guy behind us. I'm like, you want me to grab you one? And he was a fairly large gentleman, and he's like, oh no, that's okay. And when it came back, and I had to ask him, did you want me to grab you one? And he's like, no, I'm a diabetic. And I was like, and I happened to glance out the corner of my eye at his cart, and his cart only had Pepsi in it. And I was like, yeah, it's like a whole bunch of it. And I just, what do you do? I'm like, I can't unsee the elephant in the room, and I mean the Pepsi. It was just like wah 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 of this message of like, oh my goodness, you're a diabetic and you have a cart full of Pepsi. It was actually like a quarter of a cart, but it was a large cart. It wasn't one of those tiny carts. It was a large cart, and that's all he had was a whole bunch of bottles and a whole bunch of cans. And I was like, far be it from me to tell somebody how to live their life, but he just said he was a diabetic. So I'm like, and I'm trying to like gently, gingerly like say something about him, like, but like I'm kind of pointing to the Pepsi, going, ah. He goes, I got hooked on this when I was in the military, like a long time ago, and I've been hooked ever since. And I know there's a whole thing about like how sodas, and there's a lot of foods that are manufactured and engineered to get you hooked, craving them, so that you can't get off them. And not only was he drinking that brand, it's not even about the brand. I could care less about the brand, but it's about how they manufacture it and what they put into it. But also he was drinking the diet version of it, which, as my husband would be, he would, if he was right behind me, he'd be like, diet has the word die right into it. So like aspartame and stuff like that makes things diet. Um, as he would put it, he's done a ton of research on this, but it's basically aspartame. Like people who have drank a lot of aspartame in their lives pretty much don't need to be embalmed when they die because they've actually self-embalmed themselves from the chemicals from aspartame. So I mean that's like a gross thought, but anyway, yeah. So I suggested to him. I said, "Have you tried Zevia? Because Zevia is really a really good soda. It's a little bit higher price, but it's sweetened with stevia in it, which is a natural product. So it doesn't have the calories in it, and And he's like, well, I might try that, And I tried to like say the word Zevia a few times so he would remember it. But I don't know if I made a difference in his life. Maybe it was the people that made a difference in his life that day. I'm not sure. Maybe he will listen. I hope so. I hope I send out good energy to him because he really looked like the way he said, I've been hooked on this for a long time since he was in the military. He was really overweight by a lot, and the weight was not distributed in even like a healthy way, and but the soda is not going to help that at all, right? So I mean most of us know that, but it's just like smoking or eating or whatever we're doing, all of us are probably doing something that we could change the habit of to do better. For me, it's been trying to get off sugar, and that's been sometimes it's easy for me, sometimes it's not easy for me. And so and sugar comes in a lot of formats too. So, but getting that out of my life, that's my personal journey. You know, everybody's got their own personal journey of what they've got to go through to, help with, help improve their lives if they want. You can, like I, I personally think for myself, there's a Japanese word, kaizen, of constant improvement, and that's my theory of things. Of just I like that. I try and, I have a joke, as long as I'm not 6 feet under, I want to try and improve every day. So, I say you learn something every day if you're paying attention. So, like, a lot of times we learn something every day, but we're not, like, really paying attention. There are things coming at us that we can learn from, but we're like, la, 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 and we're not paying attention. We don't want the information, or we're not paying attention to the information, or we're not putting the information to use. So, as my husband would tell you, how much I like to learn things, but if I'm not actually putting them into play, into practice right away, that doesn't really do anybody any good. You can spend money on classes and then not get anything out of them because you're not doing anything with them. So I recommend that same thing with my hoop students too. Like, I tell everybody, I'd say, okay, a lot of times if they're a student of mine, I give them a special notebook. And I said, this is your hoop notebook. You can use this as a hoop journal, a hoop notebook, however you want to use it. But here's my suggestion with it, is that when you learn something new, you write it down right away, and just take a few minutes to do that. So you just compose your thoughts, write down what you wrote, what you learned, and then practice it right away. Like a few minutes doing that, and then a few minutes the next day, and a few minutes the next day. Like just that little bit will help you actually get that stuff genetically, like just that energy has not just gone and out the door. So, like I always tell people, like I've paid hundreds of, probably in the thousands of dollars of how many workshops I've taken, just of hooping, not only of dance, in a lifetime. Do I know everything if I knew everything from these workshops, I would be, oh my goodness, I would be so darn brilliant. But I'm lucky if I can remember one cool thing out of it. But the times that I've actually taken my own advice about writing it down and then doing it right away has worked tremendously for me. So I highly recommend doing that if, you want to do something. So, that could be taking notes. Maybe you watch the Hoopla of Y'all show. I try and do show notes. I need to get better at that. But I try and have some notes on there so that you have somewhere to go, and like some reference points. Like I'll hopefully put the link up for my Kayataka, and the this little guy here, so you can know what I'm talking about here, and you can go try it for yourself. See if you like it. I'm not selling this. I'm not a multi-level person, marketing person. Oh, it says it has lutein in there too. So, and it's got like looks like a little bowling ball, but I think it's supposed to be an eyeball. Anyway, lutein is good for the eyes. It's really good for the eyes. So anyway, yeah. I cover a lot of ground in these shows. Humor, health, and hooping. Health, humor, and hooping. Yeah. Anyway, so we covered a lot of ground. I hope you enjoyed it, and I so thank you for either watching live or watching the replay. So thank you so much for liking this video, sharing this video, subscribing if you haven't already subscribed, hitting up the Facebook page. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, you name the social media platform, I'm most likely on it. I may not be like totally active with it, but I'm even on Pinterest, and I'm on Yelp. I'm on all kinds of stuff. So if you want to recommend me, I would really appreciate that. 5-star reviews are really awesome. I really appreciate that. I try and give information out that might be helpful to others. Some of the things from my journey. I'm a person that I'm part of the people thing of what I'm trying to explain, and so maybe I'm one of your people. That's really cool to be in your network, and I thank you for spending time here and getting what you can out of this, and maybe you just take one, what I call a golden nugget out of this. Maybe it's maybe it's this, maybe it's the tip from the roll, of looking at the roll. Maybe it's you're like, I wasn't even tuning into this. What's this Hooper chick about? And she's talking about motorcycle riding. Yeah, I've ridden motorcycles before too. But the focus. But that could be just that you can use that one in business too. What you put your energy into, what you focus on, is what you move towards. So, and my husband has to remind me of that a lot sometimes. So, um, eye on the prize, eye on the target, focus on what you want, rather than this blah, 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 blah. So if you think I get this right all the time, no, I don't. I'm working at it constantly. So, but, hopefully I get better at it, and hopefully I inspire others to get better at it as well. And so we're all on this journey. We're all people together. So thanks for being part of the human race with me. If you're part of the other critters, I've got one sleeping behind me, the little canine critter. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Rock on, peace out. This has been Shay Rippinger of Hip the Hoopla. So I'm that on all the social medias and all that kind of stuff. You can visit the website too. So thanks, like, share, do all that kind of good stuff, and just enjoy your day or your night, and have a really awesome one. Rock on, peace out. All right, bye.